This one is for our more advanced people. Once we've mastered the single and single back, and we've worked on our double technique, we only need to do two things, and this is again, it's a math equation, right? All we need to do is do two more things to go from a double aerial to a triple aerial. But I will caution you, this is an advanced maneuver. Until we're comfortable throwing a double, and I don't mean comfortable as in we can do it, I mean comfortable as in we could shake you awake in the middle of the night, hand you a rifle, say go out in your front yard and throw 50 doubles. At that point, when you could land all 50 of those with great confidence, now we're talking about being comfortable enough to throw triples. So the two variables that we're going to experiment with are, once again, what our hand is doing and the height of our release. Just like the double aerial, all we're doing is changing two variables, and that's going to give us a half a rotation in addition for each one of those variables we change. So a triple aerial looks like this. And you notice in this case I caught the triple aerial flat. That's a pretty typical catch for that triple. You could of course let it land, keep the momentum going, and land it barrel down as well. But in this case, let's talk about the variables. As you can see, the first variable that we changed is just like the variable from the double. We moved our release point. If a single was here, a double was here, a triple release point is going to go up with a full arm extension, and this is going to give the rifle maximum vertical reach so that it can fall, just like the double, again, fall down with 3 spins in total. So if you notice, if I take the same technique that I was using for the double and I remove the closing of the fist and I just change the release point, we have a 2.5 rotation. I caught it at the butt plate. That would be facing down or facing flat, and just changing that one variable gives us an extra half rotation because it gives us more time for the rifle to fall back down. So just as in the double technique, the second variable is going to be what I do with my hand, and if I was curling and twisting my hand into the catch of the double, I'm going to do the same thing with the triple, but this time the motion is going to go upwards, and I'm really going to think about tightening the fist and extending, punching forward and extending from that elbow so that I have a very, very firm and quick twist of that wrist, which is going to give us the extra half rotation that we need. And those two variables together are going to give us that triple aerial. Now notice, that's a very slow and controlled spin. You can kind of, even in regular time, you can watch that triple come back down, and I can really gauge and see the rotation 100% of the time. That's due to the fact that I'm not thinking about throwing and torquing the rifle. I'm really thinking about lifting and then squeezing. So all the more important that our shoulders, back, and lats, all those muscle groups, are well conditioned and ready to handle throwing this maneuver. Now, just as in the double, this is one of those where we need to get outside. We need to go and we need to find a soft spot where we can run away from the rifle. There's plenty of clearance. I can simply move back and away and get out of the path of the rifle. And this is one that's going to require a little bit of experimentation, change up the variables. Now, just like the double, and again, I keep restating it, this is literally building on where the double is. If you're comfortable with a double, you can be comfortable with a triple. Just as in the double, this is our control. If I need to throw the rifle to the left or to the right, I'm simply going to position my arm and my hand in the direction that I want the rifle to go. Rifle goes over here, arm goes over here. That's useful to know because if you find your aerials drifting in a particular direction, film yourself. Watch where this hand is pointing, and if we're fully extending, and if we're squeezing our fist, that means the rotation is not going to be an issue. So therefore, watch, where am I directing the rifle to go? And this is extremely useful, again, not only to clean up where people are throwing and make people the same, but also to have a little bit of an idea of why my rifle is doing certain things. So this is really what we need to check when the rifle's too far forward, when we feel it's coming back towards us, drifting to the left or to the right, whatever it might be. So that is the technique that we're going to use for a triple aerial.